So in part 2 of this video series, now that we've already established part 1, the root of the problem, part 2 we're going to go over why I believe this is nothing like the 2006, 2007, 2008 financial crisis. There are a myriad of reasons of why the 2008 financial crisis happened, but let's go over 3 of what I believe could be the most important ones. 1, poorly written mortgage loans. 2, adjustable rate mortgages. And 3, supply outpaced demand. So let's go over these a little bit more detail. So the first one, which is realistically the most important one, poorly written mortgage loans. So in 2007 or 2006, 2005, the mortgage industry was nothing like it is today. I'll give you one quick example, a ninja loan. What that stood for was no income, no job, no assets. Essentially, that's what you needed to qualify for a home loan back then. That's how easy it was. You didn't need income, you didn't need a job, and you didn't need assets. Realistically, just needed a social security number and consign, and you could buy a second, a third, a fourth home, right? Let me tell you, I can attest that today's industry is nothing like that. We have to qualify each and every single one of our homeowners. Guidelines are much more strict than what they were in 2005, 2006, 2007. So people buying today are truly actually qualified for these home loans. So it's nothing like 2005 to 2008. And to add to that fact that homeowners are way more qualified than they've ever been, first point, credit scores are at their actually highest point in history. In addition, people over the age of 25 have their highest degree percentage ever. Now, I'm not arguing that a degree equals intelligence or anything like that. I'm just providing a fact that right now, out of our current time, people have a higher education than they've ever had in history. So another reason to show that homeowners today are nothing like they were in 2008 is the foreclosure data. Foreclosures pretty much peaked in around 2008, but even the years preceding 2008, foreclosures were steadily increasing all the way back to 2003, which they are significantly above today's data. So people just aren't foreclosing on their houses the same way they thought. And people thought the pandemic would cause this. But with the rent moratorium, we're just not seeing the same amount of foreclosures as a lot of people projected. And why is it safe to assume that foreclosures won't increase? Well, home ownership equity is at all-time highs. You think somebody who has $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 in equity in their property are just gonna foreclose on their house? It's not gonna happen. In 2005, 2006, 2007, people's equity was nothing like it is today. So to sum that up, we can clearly see that homeowners today are well more qualified than ever. We're not writing those ninja loans. Credit scores are at their highest point ever. We have people who with the highest education ever. Foreclosures are near all-time lows. People have the most equity they've ever seen. We're not anything like the same demographic we were in 2005 to 2008. Now, a second reason to show this isn't anything like 2005 is adjustable rate mortgages. For those who want to understand, the simple foundation of adjustable rate mortgage is that you lock in your interest rate for a fixed interest rate for a fixed amount of time, whether it's 1 year to 5 years, and then it adjusts to current market interest rates. There's a little bit more that goes into that, but that should give you a small foundation. So when you go back to 2005, 2006, right, people were locking in 4.5%, 5% interest rates. Well then, if they adjust to 2008 and interest rates are now 6.5%, that's gonna add to the fact that people cannot afford their home loans. And did you know in 2005 that 2 of every 5 mortgages had an adjustable rate mortgage? Compare that to today's standard, and less than 1 out of 100 people have an adjustable rate mortgage. So you're talking 40% to sub 1% have adjustable rate mortgages. So most people, especially with the refinance boom that we just had, locked in to an interest rate sub 3, sub 3.5%, whereas back then, people were adjusting to above 6% interest rates. And lastly, the third reason, supply outpaced demand in 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, right? We already went over in series part 1 that is nothing like we're seeing today. Demand is at all-time highs. Inventory is at all-time lows. So we don't have the same problem as they did in 2005. So to sum it up, we can see that today's demographic is nothing like 2007, 2008. First and foremost, we're not writing loans like we did then. Buyers are way more qualified, buyers are way more educated, buyers have way more equity than ever before. Adjustable rate mortgages, pretty much non-existent compared to then. And then most importantly, our demand is still at all-time highs. We see houses hitting the market and still getting 10, 20, 30, 40 offers in 1 or 2 days, right? So we're nothing like we were from 2005 to 2008, and we can see that just strictly from the data. Make sure to stay tuned for part 3 of this video series, where we'll go over, even though this isn't 2008, what we should be keeping our eyes on for the future.